Okay, so you see the title, you know what's about to happen. Like, comment, subscribe. So let's get straight into it, right? The big three and why there will never be a big three conversation again. So I want to touch on a couple things, in this video. I want to talk about why there will never be a big three conversation again, who killed it, right? Who killed the big three conversation, how it came to be this way, and a couple more things, right? So the first thing, right? Why there will never be a big three conversation again. This is my opinion. This is just, based on what I've observed over the years. We have a plethora of animes to choose from, a bunch of different genres, right? So it's not just action. Back in the day, there was a lot of like action, even when you look at, obviously, the pioneer, the one that started all, Dragon Ball Z, right? But even when you do look at an anime like Sailor Moon was action. Sailor Moon was action, so yeah, those are the animes that started it all. So, but nowadays, right, there's just a plethora of animes, right, to choose from. I'll give you an analogy just to land the plane. So back in the day, you had like what, 10 animes, right, that were mainstream. Well, mainstream as much as you can be mainstream in the early 2000s, right? And but there was like 100 of us, right? 10 animes, 100 of us. We all going to kind of like agree on a couple things, right? Well, more than a couple things, but you get my point. Then if you get to from 10 animes to 100 of us to 1,000 animes and a couple hundred of us, like it becomes, it becomes tough to kind of like agree on certain subject matters, right? So that's number one. There's just way too many animes, right? Like nowadays, you have people actually not complaining, but trying to figure out what to watch next, right? I'm sure right now you're watching this video, you're like, yo, I'm sure you probably within the past 3 months, you probably ask yourself, what do I watch next, right? Because there's just so many. Well, guess what? There was a time where you knew what to watch next, right? Like television told you what to watch next, right? Like there was a time where that's how it was, right? But nowadays, that's not really the case, right? That's not really the case. Like you don't know what to watch next. It's just animes come out like flipping popcorn. Right? It's pops here, pops there. It's too many to watch from, right? So we all cannot really agree on can be the next thing, so to say. That's number one. Number two is, unfortunately, be careful what you wish for. I've always wanted animes to go mainstream, right? Like I wanted animes to be mainstream. I wanted people to understand and feel what I actually felt, right? Like when I was watching animes growing up, I'm like, yo, people got to know about this. Like, it's just so much. I felt like animes were just like there was just so much depth, and I wanted it to go mainstream. I really, really wanted it. So anybody that I just came across with, I was like, yo, do you watch animes? Like, did you watch this? Yo, do you know about Death Notes? Hey, do you know about obviously, your usual stuff, but I would try to like get them to watch the stuff that I was watching, the niche stuff. At some point, Death Note was kind of niche, until it became mainstream, but it was niche, I was confident that they would feel what I was feeling, right? Now, it's safe to say that anime is kind of mainstream. The ceiling keeps increasing, right? So right now it's at its best, right? But there's another level that it can get to, right? So basically that's what I'm saying. Now that it's mainstream, there's a lot more people, a lot more casual fans. Because there's a lot more casual fans, it becomes tougher to pick up three main ones, or at least three main of the bunch, and be like, yo, these three have kind of set the tone for this generation. Or these three are setting the tone for this next generation. Why? Because it's mainstream, right? So you have a lot more casual fans. The casual fans didn't really have any bearing on dictating, oh, yo, these are the main three. Like, you really have to watch a ton of animes to be able to, have some type of understanding of what even a good really anime is about, right? Like, if we're being honest. But now that it's mainstream, right? The doors have kind of opened to a lot more people to come through, which is what I wanted, which is what a lot of us wanted. Because of that, we can't all agree, like you have the casual fans and you have the fans and you have the crazy fans and then you have the really crazy fans. Because of that, we all can't agree on these on I guess the next three animes, right? That either set the tone for this generation or will set the tone for the next generation. The same way Bleach, One Piece, and Naruto have. The third thing is consumption. I mentioned that there's just a plethora of animes now to choose from. The consumption of animes, bro, like it's disgusting. It is really disgusting. We consume animes like it's flipping microwave food, right? Like back in the day, you had to like Dragon Ball Z would come out like what 4 times a week, right? Like, and you gotta wait. Even now, right? Animes come out like what once a week, and then we wait. But now, bro, you go on Netflix, the whole thing is already out, bro. Like you watch when you're done. There's already like 17 other animes waiting for you that are done, right? Then you binge watch those for 2 weeks, and then you move on to the next animes that like it just we can't really pause on animes, right? Like it's tough to pause on a specific anime, have conversations about it, go in depth with it, episode per episode, consume it in that kind of way, have conversation with it, appreciate the anime, rewatch the episode, see what you missed, see what you didn't really understand, right? Like having these like group chats, go back and forth. You can't really do that. By the time you're done with this anime, right? Binge watching this anime, there's 17 animes waiting for you to binge watch, right? And you kind of have this kind of like fear of missing out happening, right? Like in your brain, and you're just like, yo, I gotta finish this, so because I want to know what's happening. This because the hype over there is crazy. Oh, wait, what about this anime? Well, it's just too many, right? And we consuming it at a fast pace. Because of that, conversations are not really being had around the big three, or at least the next big three, right? And I feel like those three kind of like killed the conversations, right? Like, and part of it is we as the fans, are to blame for it, right? Like we demanded more animes. We demanded that it's being consumed to the right this way. We wanted them to pump more animes. We wanted them to to be mainstream, and we got what we wanted, right? But because of that, the conversations that are supposed to be had, like it's not really happening. We either are, we either glaze too much on one specific anime, or we just try to tear it down because it's just too popular, and there's no balance anymore. And I'll say, this one last thing is like the last animes, right? That I feel like we kind of like paused on because they were just so good, and they kind of like made us pause as a whole, anime community. If we're being honest, bro, the very last one was Solo Leveling season 2, right? Like Solo Leveling season 2 trended. It actually trended. Like you went on social media, it trended. Jujutsu Kaisen trended early, right, with the Calling game, but it didn't really go anywhere afterwards, right? It ended. The part 1 ended. There was no really like trends happening around Jujutsu Kaisen. Solo Leveling did trend. That's the difference. Attack on Titans, that's another one also that trended when it was ending. Actually, when it was airing. So those, in my personal opinion, those are the two that kind of like made us stop and watch, right? So I guess you have to ask yourself, what about these two animes, Attack on Titans and Solo Leveling, that made us just stop and talk more about and revisit them, and especially Attack on Titans. In the past 10 years, I think there hasn't been an anime better than Attack on Titans. In the past 10, maybe even 15 years. You can come through and tell me no otherwise, but I personally, especially like from every type of angle, I don't think there's been an anime better than Attack on Titans, right? And I don't think we're going to see an anime better than Attack on Titans in the next 10 years, bro. Like that's my hot take, for the day. But yeah, you guys let me know what killed the big three conversation? Right? Was it the fans? Was it the consumption, the pumping of animes? What was it for you that killed the big three conversations? And but yeah,